Good morning again, everyone. So what I have here now is a dial caliper, and you can see the reading on this, or you will see, is considerably easier to do, and that's really not because the other one is requires a little bit of internal head math, but this one is just visually easier to see as well. Now, just to make it quick and not too technical, what I'm doing here is I'm going to make sure the jaws, because this should always be done with any measuring tool for precision. We're going to make sure that the jaws are clean, and I'm going to put it together and make sure that the tool is calibrated. You can see I'm lined up here and it goes right to the 0. Okay, and you can see that at the edge of the jaw, that is the 0 mark on the main scale. Now, like the other caliper, this one has the 1 inch divided into 100th increments. There's the 1 inch right there. Sorry for the dust here. This is the one I use in my wood shop. So you can see, if I get my pencil out again, that we have 100th thou, 200th thou, 300th thou, 400th thou, and so on, all the way up to the 1 inch, the 1 inch over here. And when you look at this, the dial part has a scale that goes in 1 thou increments all the way around to 100th thou. So what happens is the dial divides up the 100th thou increments down here in the main scale into 1 thou increments on the dial. Now this is considerably easier to work with and read, and much more quick too. The downside, I guess, if I were to say there's a downside to this tool, is a little bit more delicate. Of course, in order for this to work, it has to have a fine tooth here, and of course the tooth has to mesh with a small gear inside the dial, and the dial has to have teeth that mesh together. So there's a few different steps, mechanical linkages, if you will, that have to take place in order for that reading to come up here in the dial. And of course, whenever there's something like that, it's going to run into the problem of wear and tear, and eventually it's going to wear out. Whereas the vernier caliper, there is simply a sliding scale, and there is nothing there to wear out other than the slide, I guess, if it were not to be maintained, i.e. Put some oil on it and keep it clean. So let's just look quickly at how this reading would happen. Just identify, so you would see the 1 inch here by my thumb, and I would bring this up to the 0, and that would be 1 inch right there. Same thing happened if I go all the way to the 0 here. There's enough there that you can see what you're looking at, and you read the 0 line. So the 125 thou, or what did we have, 136 thou on the first one that I read, would be this marking right here. And rather than having to say, oops, go back to the 1. Rather than having to read the vernier scale, the main scale, and add them together, what you can see here is that I'm just looking at the 100th thou scale that is exposed by the jaw, and then counting the numbered segments in the dial. So very quick and very easy. 136 thou. But again, there's perhaps a wear and tear issue where this one is going to be a few more things that can wear out. So maybe not as hardy and durable.